A celebration this weekend will center on the Native people and tribes in Central Texas. The Bastrop Museum and Visitor Center has a day full of events planned on Saturday to mark Indigenous Peoples Day. So exciting.
Yeah, we're very excited to talk about this. Joining us this afternoon to tell us more about what's in store is Rachel Hatch with the museum. Rachel, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, and you were just telling us this is the very first time that you all will be celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day and doing an event related to that. Why was that important to do?
Well, we really feel like these are stories that are not told enough, and we are very proud of our Indigenous heritage in Bastrop County, and we really want to show that to different people and share those stories. So we're really excited, and we hope to make this an annual event.
When you talk about Bastrop specifically, what is some of that Indigenous heritage that you guys are really hoping to highlight tomorrow?
Yeah, so the most prevalent peoples that were in the Bastrop County area and in this area as well in Austin were the Tonkawa. So they were primarily nomadic. They followed the buffalo and they also followed the river. So we have lots of documentation throughout history of different encampments along the river. And unfortunately, the Tonkawa were eventually forced out of Texas. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of these stories have been forgotten or overpassed. But now they are making their way back, and they have just recently bought their sacred land back. And so two of our presenters are going to be speaking about that, about how they bought that sacred land and what they're doing with that. So.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing. And bringing that story back up to the spotlight, we love that.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what's going to happen on Saturday? What kinds of things can people expect if they wanted to come to the celebration?
Yeah, we have lots of different presenters. We have, of course, about the Tonkawa tribe. We also have representatives from the Texas Tribal Buffalo Project, which is an organization that is trying to revive the buffalo population in Texas, because at one point, buffalo were across the area. In fact, that's why Austin is the capital of Texas, is because of the buffalo, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So they're going to come and talk about how they're reviving that population and how they're bringing that back to the community, and they have a lot of really amazing things to talk about. We have performers from the Lakota tribe. We have artifact displays. We have children's activities where they can make crafts and coloring pages and different things like that. So it's going to be really fantastic.
Wow.
There is such rich history here in Texas and Central Texas specifically. When we talk about all of these forgotten tribes or tribes that aren't commonly talked about, why is it so important for you guys to use days like Indigenous Peoples Day to really highlight these tribes and who they were, who they are? Like you said, reclaiming back land, I mean, it really is remarkable.
Yeah, well, even though that they may have been forgotten or passed over in history books or history classes, they still are such a huge part of our heritage and our community. And a lot of times we kind of talk about them in past tense, but they're still here, they're still very prevalent. So part of our mission as the Bastrop Historical Society is that we want to collect, preserve, and share those stories of all peoples that lived within the Bastrop County.
And you're getting to do that tomorrow, but just remind us as well, you all have gone through some renovations at the Bastrop Museum.
Yeah,
what all did that entail?
Yeah, so we're very lucky. We have the city of Bastrop, who is very supportive of our mission, and we have brand new carpeting in our main displays. We have new flooring in our special events, so we're very excited. We have free concerts and all these different events, and we're so excited to have that new space. We have fresh paint on the front, and we have a brand new visitor center desk. That's one thing that we really pride ourselves on. We have a visitor center, so it really should be the first stop. Anybody coming to Bastrop can drop by and see the visitor center. So we're very excited. Just a brand new face for us.
Rachel, I have to ask on a personal note, you seem very passionate about this. How did you get involved with this work, and why are you really excited about tomorrow?
I'm so glad you asked. So I moved to Bastrop, and one of the reasons I moved to Bastrop was because of the Museum and Visitor Center. When I was thinking about different places to live, I visited the museum, and I was just welcomed with open arms. And the people who work for the Bastrop County Historical Society are so passionate about the stories that they share and they want to preserve. And I loved that. I'm actually a former history teacher from Del Valle ISD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so history is a big part of me. And I was just so impressed by the museum, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I'm really excited to now be able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel Hatch, I wish we could talk to you a little bit
All
longer,
day.
but I feel like we'll wrap our conversation now, and thank you again for joining us this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much.
We want to remind people, if you would like to check out the Indigenous Peoples Day celebration tomorrow, it is happening on Saturday. As we mentioned, it lasts from 10 a.m. to noon at the Bastrop Museum and Visitor Center. The address is there on your screen, 904 Main Street in Bastrop. We'll be right back after this.